Hello guys, welcome to our part B. The part B, question 12, iguanas and lizards. Some species of iguana live on hot islands in the Pacific Ocean and use the environment to regulate their body temperature. The figure below shows an iguana on a rock in the sunshine. A marine biologist measured the oxygen consumption of an iguana at different temperature. The table below shows the results. As you can see, the first column, the body temperature of the iguana in degrees Celsius, oxygen consumption in centimeter cubic per gram per hour. Explain why the body temperature of the iguana affects its oxygen consumption, and the reason is that it increase in body temperature increases the rates of respiration, hence increased oxygen consumption. Part B, iguanas do not have sweat glands. When an iguana is too hot, it pants by opening its mouth to cool down. Explain how this behavior helps to cool the iguana down. And exposure of blood capillaries in the buccal cavity leads to heat loss of air. Evaporation of moisture from buccal cavity takes away the latent heat of vaporization to cool the body. Question 13. When any one of the growth parameters, such as growth in size or weight, increase in number of cells, are plotted in a graph against time like below, a clear curve is obtained. Part A. State its name, and this is a sigmoid growth curve. As you can see, it is a S-shaped. It has several phases: the lag phase, log phase, decelerating phase, and then eventually the stationary phase. Part B, the embryo of a dry, fully developed seed usually passes through a period of rest after ripening period, and it cannot germinate, even when provided with all favorable conditions. State the significance of this, and this is to provide the seeds with enough time for dispersal so that they can germinate in suitable environment, or also it enables the seed survive during adverse environmental conditions. And this process is basically seed dormancy. They are asking the importance of seed dormancy. Next question. The table below shows the concentration in parts per million of sodium and iodide ions in seawater and cell sap of the plant. You can see seawater 326, sodium ions concentration 326, iodide ions concentration in seawater 39, and cell sap 574. Part A, Roman 1. Which of the two ions intake will be affected if the plant was sprayed the chemical that inhibits respiration? And basically they're asking which ions is absorbed by active transport, since the active transport requires energy obtained from respiration. Let's look and see. Sodium ions concentration in seawater is 326. Moving to the cell sap, which is 162, it means that ions are moving from a highly concentrated region to a lowly concentrated region. That is a diffusion. Diffusion will not be affected by a chemical that inhibits respiration because it does not need energy. Then iodide ions concentration, seawater 39, cell sap 574. It means the ions are moving from a region of low concentration to a region of high concentration, and that is against a concentration gradient, and it needs energy from respiration. It means it is iodide ions. Explain your answer in 8A Roman 1 above. Less energy produced. Answer, active transport is low. Part B, what is the name of the instrument that is used to measure the osmotic pressure? That is osmometer. Question 15, moya moya is a rare disorder caused by a dominant allele. This disorder progressively damages the arteries supplying the brain. Part A, inherited factors may contribute to the development of moya moya. The pedigree diagram below shows a family affected by moya moya. You can have the key here showing an affected male and female plus affected male and female. Roman 1, explain how the information in the pedigree diagram suggests that this disorder is due to a dominant allele, and this is because individual 1 is affected and individual 2 is normal, and yet they have both affected and normal offspring. Using a genetic diagram, find the probability that the next child born to parents 3 and 4 will be affected by moya moya. Parents 3 and 4, 3 is an affected female, while 4 is an affected male. It means we'll use because it is sex linked, we'll use the XX for female and XY for male. Then basically it is affecting the X chromosome. You need to include X and then superscript MM. You'll get a probability of half or 50%. Question 16, study the diagram below and answer the questions that follow. You can see it is a fertilized eggs. You can have the grasshopper, the nymph, which is developing to form adult. Name the hormone that is involved in development stage A to B and sets its role. That is hormone juvenile. As you can see, it is maintaining the larval characteristics, fast formation of larval characteristic, and maintaining it, and also prevents or inhibits molting. So the role formation of larval cuticle or inhibits molting. Then maybe the hormone which causes molting is a acetylation hormone, and the process called acidosis. Question 17, the figure below shows pentadactyl limb of a bat and cat. Describe the reasons why the anatomy of the pentadactyl limb suggests that bats and cats evolved from a common ancestor. As you can see, they have the same limb plan, which are differentially arranged to perform different functions. Then question 18, say the functions of each of the following organelles. Lysosomes, they contain lytic enzymes. Lytic enzymes must be there, which destroy worn out organelles and even the entire cell. Then ribosomes, the site for protein synthesis. Question 19, the organelle below is important in the process of nutrition. This is the chloroplast. Explain how part C is suited to its function. And this part C is the stroma, the fluid part. And this one is the grana. This one is a starch granule. Explain how part label C is suited to its function. The stroma, it is a fluid filled to provide medium for photosynthetic reactions. Remember, the dark stage occurs in the stroma, then contains photosynthetic enzymes which catalyze photosynthetic reactions or carbon 4 oxide fixation. Question 20, Green algae Spirogyra consists of large cells joined end to end. Each cell has one large spiral-shaped chloroplast. A student investigated the effect of red and green light on the rate of photosynthesis. She placed Spirogyra on a microscope slide in a drop of water. The water contained many bacteria. The bacteria moved to areas where oxygen concentration was highest. The student shone spots of red and green light on two different parts of the Spirogyra. The rest of Spirogyra was in the dark. That's shown in the diagram. We have this red light spot, the bacteria, green light, and chloroplast. Explain the difference in the numbers of bacteria in the red and green light spots. Spirogyra photosynthesizes best at red light spot, producing more oxygen than in green light spots. Thus, bacteria are positively aerotactic, hence move towards more oxygen concentration. Name the type of response shown by the Spirogyra. That is positive phototaxis, and positive must be there because they are moving towards the stimuli. Then bacteria, positive aerotaxis, also positive must be there because they are moving towards the stimuli. Examine the inflorescence shown below. Name the agent of pollination. As you can see, it is wind. Name parts labeled C. That is a filament. Part B, state one observable feature that adapts the flower to agents of pollination. And that is a large and loosely attached anthers, as you can see, to flexible filament to be easily swayed by wind, thus releasing pollen grains. It also has long stigma hanging out of the flower to trap pollen grains. Then part C, state one difference between the pollen grains of this flower and entomophilus. Entomophilus is a insect pollinated flower, and entomophilus have large and sticky or rough pollen grains, while anemophilus have small, light and smooth pollen grains. Thank you. Our next video will be part C. Please like, subscribe, and share.